what's actually kind of interesting, because this is actually an interesting ploy. I talked to Kez about this, which is I have another friend who I'm not gonna give his name, but I had this conversation with him, and you'll know who I'm referring to. But I was like, hey, it's funny, when you were not the attractive guy in school, you were not like, which is me, but I'm like, yeah, it's funny, but then you start getting into a position where all of a sudden, it's like, as you get older, it's like, it doesn't make any sense in your head. Like, all of a sudden, women want you, married women want you, and you start to see it increase as your wealth increases and your
right
your
about 30
status.
years old.
But I went, it's so crazy, because, you look at the people in high school that peaked in high school, which was a lot of people, and they, got all the pussy and they were doing whatever they wanted. And it's like, I go, the reason why you're kind of reckless or, making mistakes or whatever is because you never had this opportunity to be at desirable. And it's not like you suddenly just got like better looking, but you did to them. Because like, it's not like your face just changed, but it's like all of a sudden now you have something that can bring stability to women.
And it's also necessity on their part as well. When
they want you. And I was like, I know it's hard for you to like handle all the new female attention because you never did have it, and you didn't. You never thought about it.
You think your perseverance is finally, your ship has come in. You've finally hit pay dirt. I did the right thing. I stuck to my guns, and now she really finds me attractive. No, it's because she's 29 to 31 years old, and her necessities have changed from the time she was like 18 till she was about 28 years old. That's the period that in my second book, Preventive Medicine, I have a timeline in there of what men can expect from women at various phases of maturity for women. And right around 29 to 31 years old, which, by the way, is the prime demographic for first marriage in the United States. Men are about 29, women about 28, somewhere around there. And that's when women go, oh shit, the lights are coming on at the club, and I better find a guy to leave the party with. And they're hoping they're going to find a guy who at least has some prospect or is a good bet for them, because at that stage, they are becoming to realize or acknowledge that they can't compete in the sexual marketplace like they did when they were 23 years old. So when we talk about the wall in the manosphere, for example, like a lot of people say, well, there's lots of girls who are like 33 years old and they're hot and they're sexy. And I go, yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. The wall doesn't start here. The wall starts here for women. It's, can I compete with the 23-year-old version of me? Can I compete with the next crop of girls? Because as I said, from 15 all the way up to 90, that's the demographic that men find the most attractive. It's peak fertility. If there's a biological clock, it ain't at 31 years old. It's when you were 23 years old. That's when you can conceive easier. That's when you can carry a child to term easier. And I think on a biological evolutionary level, men understand that. So when a woman gets to be about 29, 30, 31 years old, it's like, oh shit, I better find a guy for the long term, because from 30 on to hope you live a long life, but till however long you're going to live, women are looking for long-term security after that point. So it's like they have a 10-year window between, say, 18 and 28 years old where they can consolidate on a good bet on that good potential guy. When they get to 29 to 31 years old, that's the epiphany phase. And that's when women go, oh, well, I want to do things right now, and I want to get right with God, and I'm going to go back to church, and I'm going to find the right guy, and I'm going to make him do the right things, and I'm done with my crazy. You'll see this on Tinder profiles. I was so crazy in my college years, and I've had my fun. I'm done with the jerks, and I'm ready for something serious. I've had my fun. No fun for you. But I'm looking for a guy for the long haul, right at the same time that guy is just about going into his peak years. And essentially what they're saying is, wait for me until you're 30. And then when I get to be 30 and I've gone through my journey of self-discovery and we're both 30, then we'll get married. It's like that skit from Friends when Ross and Rachel say, if we're both single at 30, let's promise to get married when we're 30 years old. That's literally what we're doing right now. And that's another reason why we were talking about like the fertility rates, and we're talking about the decline in marriage rates, is men are waking up to this. They're seeing this sort of play out in their own lives, or they're seeing it online, and they're either opting out of it or they're maximizing that once they get to that peak potential.
It's interesting. I was thinking about that too, because you know that one woman that's the be a ho no mo, the one woman be a ho no mo. I love that woman, but I think it is interesting. You said at the peak at 23 is like, that's probably also too why they all get hoes in college, because it's like all the guys.
They call it the hoe phase. I was trying to be polite about it in my second book. I called it the party years because I didn't want to step on any toes. And then later on, about like 4 or 5 years after that, it was a trending hashtag, have a good hoe phase, or a hoe years, which is 18 to 28. And I thought it was funny because I referenced this when I was doing this sort of breakdown video of Tommy Lahren not too long. I think it was in 2020. It was about a year ago. And she was just losing her shit on some, like, you know, she was just doing a cell phone video, and she put it up and it went viral. And I did a breakdown video of that. She's 28 years old, and she's like, "Where are all the good guys? Where are the guys?
Yeah.
Where's my husband? Where's the guys that are supposed to be here? That you guys have some things to do, mister. You better, you know, man up. You better be the right guy for me." And of course, she's 29 right now and getting married.